Our final comedian, here she is, ladies and gentlemen, FayShoupStandUpStudentShowcase23NOV2025, everybody!
Good evening, everyone. Oh. Somebody told me if you're going to be an entertainer that always they say to you before you go on stage, break a leg. And I always do what I'm told. So you might notice that I am the oldest one on stage. There was one that could have been my granddaughter. A couple of them that could have been, I could be their mother. One of them especially was lucky I'm not. Getting his mouth out with soap would not have been fun. I don't want to tell you who it is, but his initials are JASON. So what I was going to talk to you about today is what it's like getting older. Some of you probably can relate. A few of you that are younger, take notes. I will assure you it happens faster than you can imagine. One of the reasons that I got into this entertaining stand-up thing is when I retired, I really didn't just retire, I turned in my job for unpaid hobbies. I started out tap dancing, and I was going to tap dance for you, but guess not. Then I joined the Sun City Palms, and I was a marcher. And there were a couple of them here, too, tonight. And then we have some flops here, too. Oh, no, you're a hop, aren't you? Husbands of Palms, yeah! So, and the first thing I did was I was going to march. I'd never marched before in my life. So I'm there always like, left. And I'm like, come on. Yeah, everything always starts with a right, doesn't it? Not in marching, it's left. Well, I was an accountant all my life, and I decided if they would have just started with debit, credit, debit, credit, I would have been so much better off. Then one day I was standing, just minding my own business, and they needed the base to a pyramid. Well, being one of the bigger girls, I had me a new job as being a performing palm. Then I did some other things, and I was dancing and carrying on. Well, as I am, admittedly, getting a little bit older, I thought I needed something because I've come with this new passion of mine of entertaining from being an entertaining Sun City Palm. I didn't know what to do. And so one of my friends said, why don't you do stand-up? Well, originally, I was going to stand up. But we can do this sitting down, can't we? So anyway, going back to what getting older, I liken it to getting an update on your cell phone that you didn't need, you didn't want, and you weren't looking forward to. You will, at times I've heard that there comes a time when there are no more updates available. So here we are. We're just moving along. But the way you know that you've gotten one of these updates is that pretty soon you start creaking. You can't sleep as well. And then there's the dreaded, what did I walk into this room for? The other day I walked into the kitchen to get my glasses and found the remote that I'd lost in the refrigerator the other day while I was putting away the milk. Did a few dishes, walked out with my coffee. I don't remember making coffee. I don't have my glasses. Oh, come to think of it, I don't wear glasses. Then there's my car. I get in my car, I put my seatbelt on, the seat shows forward, the steering wheel comes down on my lap. I don't know if I'm going to lunch or just a ride at Disneyland. And then the screen comes up and it says, step on the brake and push the start button. I've had that car for 4 years. Wouldn't you think it would know I knew how to start it by now? And then there's this sign over at this top. It says, drive safely and obey all traffic rules. I have never had an accident, and I have been driving since I was 16. Well, there was that one time at Sonic when that menu thing came down, crashed into my car. I don't think that was my fault. It was simply my car telling me I didn't need another Sonic blast. Then going back, there's other things that come up, and one of them is fashion choices. Eyeglasses. I think it was my psychotic mind. No, God, I get that mixed up all the way. What's the word I want? Subconscious mind. That's what it was, not my psychotic mind. I always get those two confused. I went into the restaurant, and it was a little dark in there, and I'm trying to read the menu, and one of my friends says, get your phone out and take a picture of it, and you can blow it up. No, I did, and it's still dark. So my other friend says, well, just get your phone's got a flashlight on it. Why don't you just turn that on, and then you'll be able to read the menu. So I'm sitting there looking at the menu. I look like Dick Tracy hunting for it. But for me, I was just simply trying to figure out what I wanted for lunch. Then I see over out of the corner of my eye this really good-looking guy staring at me. And I says to him, hey, I might not be able to read the fine print, but I know trouble when I see it. Why don't you come over here and help me read the menu? He quit staring. And in closing, I have just a little bit of advice, is that as you get older, cherish the creaks, embrace those naps. You're not getting older, you're becoming a classic. And classics only get more valuable with age. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Great job. Keep it going for Faye, everybody. Really. You have the rest of the comics coming up.